Hi there, friends. In case you don't already know me, I'm Dr. Stacey Armas of Little Listeners Publishing. I am an audiologist who created this company so that I can provide lots of resources for kids that have hearing loss, specifically in building up their confidence and their love for their hearing devices. My first step was to create this book. This is called My Hearing My Way. We follow 9 little kiddos as they use arts and crafts to turn their hearing devices into accessories that reflect their personalities. I wanted to show you guys how we can achieve some of these looks from our book. In this series, I'm going to be showing you guys how to achieve some of those looks in a safe way that is approved by a pediatric audiologist. So thanks you for following, and hopefully after you watch this video, you'll want to come back and see more. So if you would like to see that, please click the subscribe button down below, give us a thumbs up, and go ahead. Let's watch. Today, we're going to be looking at my favorite hearing aid style. I'm going to be doing the butterfly look. I love this look so much that it actually inspired the Little Listeners Publishing logo. Let's take a look at the store to find some butterfly wings. I was looking for butterfly wings that were softer material because kids are very active and we don't want them to bump anything and get hurt from their hearing devices. I specifically looked for paper butterflies, though I found that feather butterflies work just as well. I ended up getting this one right over here, though I did take a look at the other one. I didn't see these gold wings in the store, that's why I didn't get those. I think I might try these wings later. So what size should the wings be? The ones that I saw in the store were about 3 inches from tip to tip. But I also got some smaller wings that are about 1.5 inches, though the size of the wings that you end up picking will depend on how big the hearing device is, as well as the person's ear, and also personal preference. I personally like hearing devices that you can really see loud and proud, so I'm gonna go ahead and go with the bigger one. Here's another option. I went to the Dollar Tree to find some bargain wings for $1.25. We will be using these later. We're gonna start with our paper feathers and those bargain butterflies we'll use later. Both of them are 3 inches. I'm also going to be testing out a couple of different adhesives too, since I don't know what's going to work yet. Part 1, let's start with the feather butterfly. I picked this beautiful orange wing because it matches the style in the book. Next, I'm going to pick out a hearing aid like the one in the book. I have one right here. Looks great on a closer look. Isn't that beautiful? It looks like a real butterfly. All right, now let's get started. We have to get rid of that bug body first and foremost. So let's cut those off. Okay, now we have 2 wings that are ready for 2 different hearing devices, left and right. So before you decorate, let's actually talk about the important things. You need to find the microphones. The microphones are the little holes that are towards the top of the hearing device, and you want to make sure that those stay uncovered all the time. We also need to identify left and right sides. Typically, you'll find either the color red or blue on your hearing device. Red means right and blue means left. Once you know which side it is, you want to make sure that the ear hook is pointing in the right direction when you're decorating. This is very important because we want to make sure that when you're positioning the decorations that you are not blocking any of the microphones. The side that you put the decorations on will be different from left versus right, so you do want to make sure that you keep note of which is the left and right side and make sure to try it on so you can confirm which side of the hearing device you will put the decorations. Now that we got that out of the way, let's put the wings on. I wasn't sure exactly how to do this, so I tried using the fancier brand name adhesive. This is like a adhesive dispenser. I couldn't really tell if it was on, but it is sticky, so I went ahead and I gave that a try. Gave it a little press to lock it in place, but it looked like it had a really weak adhesion when I took the wing off. And that's when I encountered the first problem. It looks like we had a little black residue that came off of the wing. So I was gonna try to clean it up with some alcohol. Gave it a huge scrub, but it didn't help. The residue was still there. So I decided to switch it up. I went ahead and I got this goof off, which tends to work really well with getting rid of adhesive. So I went and I gave that a try, and I was really impressed. That came right off, no damage to our device. So then I switched over to some adhesive dots. You can find adhesive dots at any craft store. These I got at Michael's. I got a variety pack of different sizes. I like these because they don't use any heat, which is ideal so we don't accidentally damage the hearing device. It's also easy for kids to use and it's relatively inexpensive. So let's go ahead and see if we can use the dots and the wings. And how to use them? Well, they're just peel and stick. So just go ahead and push it up against the hearing device, and it usually comes right off of the paper. It was really easy application. Didn't have to wait for it to dry. I tried to stick the wing right on. I pressed really hard to secure it, though I don't think I needed that much pressure. So here's the first test, shake test. Will it stay on when you give it a vigorous shake? And look at that, it passed that test easily. Next test, we have to make sure it removes without damage to the device and maybe the wing. Oh, well, I was a little disappointed here. I noticed almost immediately the adhesion was really strong and it was going to tear that wing. So the good thing is there was no damage to the device, but the wing got a little damage right there. And I'm going to try another test. Can you reuse it? So I tried to put that wing right back on. The glue stayed on the wing, so I just pressed it back on, gave it another shake, and it looks like it worked okay. Now I tried to give it another pull, and oh no. That wing is really done now. That was really disappointing. I guess the good thing is still nothing stuck to the hearing devices, so I gave it a 3 out of 10 because it ruined the wing. So if you do need to take off that wing to clean your hearing aid or to put it in a drying case, then you might not want to use this method. All right, so let's try another method. I got out my glue gun for this one. I also got these Velcro cable ties. I got them online. I believe I got them on Amazon. They're really cheap. And I also picked them because they have such a low profile compared to regular Velcro. They don't have a prickly or a scratchy side. It only has little bumps that you really have to press up to feel them. The other side is very soft. Here's another view of it. You can see it has a very low profile, very slim, which is going to be great to keep that bulk off of the ear. All right, then the next thing you're going to need to do is measure and cut a piece of that Velcro that fits the device. So I cut a little chunk right there. It's also important to make sure that it does not go outside of the hearing aid, and also to make sure that you get all of those smooth edges. You don't want to have any sharp edges on there because you don't want that to be rubbing up against you. That looks great. Now let's measure again, this time for the wing. And I gave it a little cut right there, testing out the size. Then I'm going to apply hot glue directly to the wing, and I'm going to put the Velcro right on top. So hopefully this time, as we do adjust it and we clean up that glue, that when you remove the wing, hopefully it doesn't break or tear. And it also doesn't affect the hearing device. So let's talk about hot glue gun on the device. Should we do this? No. Never, never, never. It might damage the hearing aid casing, and that might also affect your warranty. So I'm going to go back to the glue dots for this particular project. Let's use those dots directly on the hearing aid. 1, 2, 3. Put it right on top, and just in case you're ever going to be wearing your hearing device without that wing with this particular look, I made sure that the soft side was towards the body. Now let's stick them together. And we're going to go just like that. And it looks like you can actually take it on and off without any issues. And here we go. Here's our shake test. I gave it a nice little shake, and it didn't come off, so it passed the shake test. Actually, it looks pretty good. I did a little bit too much glue on one side, but that's okay. And then the other thing you want to know, is it completely removable without damaging the hearing device? So the wing did okay. Now let's check out the hearing device. I'm giving it a nice little pull. You actually did have to pull kind of hard for this, which is good. That means it's pretty secure. And the glue comes right off. That's amazing. So I'm going to give this one a 10 out of 10 because the look was great. It comes right off. You can reuse it. Now let's go to the bargain wings, just in case you don't want to spend as much money. So the first thing that I did was decide which one I wanted. I'm going to be using this one right over here. It has this little adhesive sponge. You can go ahead and get rid of that. The next thing that we're going to do, we're going to separate the two sides, because there happens to be two of them here, the paper wing and a plastic wing. But I believe you might be able to use both of those. I'm just going to take off that little adhesive piece and use the paper wing later. I'm going to go ahead and use the plastic part for this one. I'm going to cut it in half, but be mindful of which side you're using, because you want to make sure, again, that those microphones stay uncovered. I had it face to the left, and then I made the appropriate cut. I'm also going to cut off any of those sharp edges, just so, just like that. Again, we don't want any accidental owies. And since I am using the plastic side, I feel like it might melt a little bit with the glue gun heat. So I'm going to go back to the glue adhesive dots for this one. So this one I think I'm going to do just like the first project. I'm going to use the glue dots straight onto the hearing aid. Now we're going to press it firmly on there. And I think that should be better. Make sure again, that this is the left ear, so remember to put the wing on the correct side. Then you're going to give it a little push, making sure that's nice and secure. Doing a little shake test, and it passed. Lovely. Okay, here's our second test, removal. Let's see if we can take it off without damaging the hearing aid and maybe the wing. And look at that, it actually came off clean. I wanted to see if we could put it back on. And it actually is still pretty sticky, so I think you might be able to take it off and put it back on a couple of different times if you have to do that. And it's still pretty sturdy and sticky. It's our bargain wings. I'm gonna give this one a 9 out of 10. It doesn't look as realistic as the feather butterfly that we used earlier. You can see it is really shiny and obviously looks like plastic. But I do like both of them. They both look pretty good. Now we're gonna put them on the actual ear. Here's the place where I'm gonna show you what happens if you put the wrong hearing device on the wrong side. As you can see, left and right really matters because then the microphones are gonna be covered and so are the decorations. And then we'll go ahead and see what they look like side by side on these little fake ears. Look at that, beautiful. And let's see what it looks like compared to our storybook. Oh wow, that looks fancy. Moment of truth. I'm gonna go ahead and try it on. Look at that, I think that looks pretty good. The only thing I would comment is that you do have to have your hair tucked back in order to use this look. If you didn't already know, my book, My Hearing My Way, it's available for purchase on Amazon. You can buy the paperback and the ebook on Amazon.com, and you can also get the hardcover book at barnesandnoble.com. If you do have any other questions, guys, please give me a comment down below. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can know every time that I do create another video, as I am going to be doing more in this series where I'm going to be making more of those hearing devices that you see in our book and teaching you guys how to do it in a safe way that is Pediatric Audiologist approved. So thank you so much for watching this video, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.